can you elaborate on the relationship with coping mechanisms such as stimulants and early developmental trauma freeze states? On the last call, you mentioned that it's not about giving up the coping mechanisms, but about slowly replacing the habits. Rather than addressing the coping mechanism, which is a symptom, it's better to work on building regulation. What does that look like in practice? Thank you. Yeah, our coping mechanisms are there for a reason. So in practice, what that may look like is, well, one, you're learning all these different somatic tools, right? So that's the first thing. Keep on moving through the labs, learn the different practices, the different ways of engaging with your physiology and yourself, because all those are going to come into play. When it comes to the actual thing, like say it's smoking and you want to go have a smoke. Okay, the first thing to do is to make that process more conscious. So first, notice what is happening in your body when you have the desire to have the smoke, whatever it is. But what's going on physically? What's happening? And then as you have the smoke or the thing, whatever it is, what does that do for you? Really notice, make it a meditation. What's happening physically? How am I soothed? Why is this helpful for me? You really want to know what the thing is doing for you. That process alone makes it more conscious and makes it not so much of an automatic thing that, oh my gosh, I just got to go to this thing in order to deal. That alone starts to shift it. Then you can start to delay your gratification. As you have more tools to work with yourself, when you feel the urge to have the thing in order to cope, just give yourself 5 minutes. Know that you're going to get the thing, you're going to get to have the thing, it's okay, but wait 5 minutes. And is there some other way to work with what you're feeling inside? Maybe it's what happens if you bring in the diaphragm work. What happens if you do a little vu-ah? This is stuff we'll get into later in later labs. What happens if you just really orient, focus on containment? Bring in your neurosensory tools and see if you can work with what is arising when you want to have the thing. And then go have the thing, right? And like that, in that way, you can slowly uncouple the need to have the coping as you bring in more underlying tools that can be supportive. I hope that all makes sense. Also, not all things are bad. Like, it's okay. Like I don't used to drink beer. I don't anymore, but I love like good scotch. I love it. Like, and I'll have a little bit, most nights I'll have a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's not that I'm using it to cope. It's like, it's part of enjoying life. And so the things that we use to cope, sometimes they transform into just things that are part of life that are nice to have, right? So that can be true of even things that are viewed as negative. So it's all about the associations. There's very little in this world that's really bad for us. It's about how we treat it. I mean, obviously we don't want to consume poison directly, but like, tobacco, alcohol, cannabis, like whatever it is, like whatever your poison is, so to speak, it's about the relationship you have with it, not the thing itself in terms of the impact it has on your health, right? The Native Americans smoked tobaccos for thousands and thousands of years, and cancer was unknown in their society, right? It's about why is the relationship with the plant that way? What are you doing? How are you using it? What's it compensating for, right? All those things are much more significant than the thing itself most of the time.